The first thing we need to do on our drawing paper is make a 5" by 7" rectangle for our eye to be drawn in, and then also for us to add our grid within. If you already have a 5" by 7" cutout, you can skip past this first part of the video. But right now I'm just going to start out by creating a 5" by 7" grid here. So I'm looking at my ruler, putting my ruler along the left side of my paper. So I'll just use this left side edge as one of the edges of my rectangle here. And I'm going to make a mark at 7. And then I'm going to move it down a little bit and make a mark at 7 down towards the bottom as well. So this way, making 2 marks is going to make my line more even, line up a lot better than if I was to just use one. So I'm going to draw this coming down, and then I need to make it by 5 inches. So I'm going to go the other way now and use the top edge of my paper as the top of, for the top of my ruler, and come down to 5 inches, and then go over to the other side and mark 5 inches as well, and then just connect the dots. So this will give me a nice 5" by 7" box to add my grid within. So all of this on the outside I can just ignore. If you want to, you can even cut this out if it makes it easier. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and we're going to begin drawing the grid within this. So the grid on our reference picture is 5 boxes by 7 boxes. So they're all just 1" boxes inside of the grid. So to get started, I'm going to have my paper horizontally and add a mark along every inch all the way over to the edge. So I'm going to put a mark at 1, mark at 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks along the top when you're finished. And then I'm not going to draw my lines down yet. This is a very important step to add the marks along the bottom as well, because if I'm not adding these marks along the bottom, my lines are not going to be perfectly straight and even. If my lines are not perfectly straight, then the drawing is going to be out of proportion and a little bit funky when I go to add my eye. So very important step to add those marks along the bottom as well, so we can line these up versus my ruler accidentally being somewhat slanted as I'm drawing my lines. So definitely make your marks along the top and the bottom at every inch. And I'm going to be drawing these in this video with Sharpie. However, you'll definitely want to make these lines as light as possible on your sketchbook. That way when you're finished and you have your eye drawn, you're able to easily erase those lines, get rid of those marks so that you cannot see them. So as light as possible as you're adding these lines is perfect. All right, so now I have all of these drawn going across the top. So now I'm going to do the same thing along the edge this way. So I'm going to take my ruler and make sure I'm on the inches side, line this up at the start of the ruler, and this goes over to 5. And I'm going to put my marks along the top now at every inch. So there's 1 inch, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to slide this over to the side, and same thing, I'm putting a mark all the way over to the edge of my paper, 2 inches, 3, and 4, and then I'm just connecting the dots. So again, this step is very important to make sure that your ruler is straight and that all of these lines line up evenly, and that you're drawing these lines as light as possible. So remember, if any of your lines look somewhat crooked, it's very important to either do this again or erase and adjust whichever line looks crooked, because that will affect how your final drawing turns out.